Did you know that Luke Fetherston and Callum Kerr have already played brothers? Let's hear that story and a whole lot more in this interview with Luke Fetherston. Welcome to Dragonmount. I'm Kathy Campbell. And now before we get started, let me do all of the boring stuff as always. A huge thank you to Tor Books for sponsoring Dragonmount. We appreciate everything that you do, including providing DRM-free ebooks. You can visit Dragonmount to get your own copies of those and enjoy reading them wherever you like. And another huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. We have a massive amount of changes coming at the end of the month. That's March 31st, so stay tuned. And now for what you've come to see. This interview with me and Luke Fetherston. Enjoy.
I'm Kathy, CEO of Dragonmount, which is the oldest Wheel of Time community that started in 1998. That nod says you've heard of us. We love
I
that.
have indeed.
How acquainted with the character of Gawyn were you when you got the role, and then again when you started filming?
Yeah, of course. So not very acquainted. So I hadn't seen, when I was auditioning, I didn't actually know what I was auditioning for, and I didn't know what role I was auditioning for. So when I got the role, they sent this kind of breakdown of Gawyn, and it only took about 3 seconds to find out what the fandom thought of him. And then I went into a state of panic. But no. Then I kind of got myself out of that and was like, this is such an amazing challenge. And then I kind of delved into it after getting the role and getting the script. It was like, okay, this is a brilliant challenge, and such a gift as an actor to be given a role that is that people feel so passionately about. So, shall we say?
I love that answer because yes, some of these characters have been with us, some of us for more than 20 years, and passionate is very much the essence of the community for sure. And along those same lines, a lot was riding on that fight scene between the two princes and Matt. And in my opinion, you absolutely nailed it. The changes that they made, having it more private, intimate, I think made it so much more powerful than in the books. What was it like filming that scene? And did you feel that pressure from the book readers to make this right?
100%. We spoke about that a lot. I'd read the passage in the book because obviously it's such a fundamental moment. And the three of us, were really committed. We spent close to 10 weeks training every day for an hour, bar Sundays, to make sure we absolutely nailed it. And I really liked they highlighted Gawyn and Galad's our first appearance fighting on our own in episode 2. I'm pleased that you had that moment to really get the payoff and really get that kind of lesson in humility with Matt. I think had we not had that first in episode 2, it might not have hit so hard. So I was absolutely thrilled that we had kind of both, but it was an amazing time shooting that scene and doing all with that stuff. Just so incredible. When the first time we rehearsed it, we were like, oh, we are gonna get whooped, but we were so happy to do so.
Yeah. Well, and that other fight scene, I agree, that payoff, like showing the essence of who these characters are, how they fight, how they are a little bit peacocky of like, hey, we're gonna play with each other in front of an audience, and then getting absolutely destroyed. I think it was absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite parts of episode 2, for sure.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Our community loves some behind the scenes tidbits. What were some of your favorite moments filming that opening scene with Kira Coveney, Shohreh Aghdashloo, Olivia Williams, everybody in that just epic ta-da?
I mean, what an entrance. I mean, it was so incredible. I think being in the White Tower with Sophie and Olivia, watching that tennis match, where's my daughter? I mean, it was just overwhelming. It really was. You could hear a pin drop. It was so amazing to see those actresses at work. I can't emphasize that enough, how impactful that was. And on top of being in this incredible set with these insane costumes, it was just like, wow, this is so amazing. So that moment, and Shoma was there as well. The three of them, it was an absolute dream. It really was.
Amazing. Are you jealous that the women this season get all of the cool hats?
No, I mean, I've got my cool wig.
That is very true. That is like, yes. The minute that I saw that wig, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Gawyn. Like that wig, I feel like just makes that character just perfect. You're like, oh yeah,
100%.
I love to hate him already. Like that energy, that vibe. But something about the Wheel of Time that I love is how much Rafe and the team has just made us adore these characters that some of us may have found annoying or whatnot.
Yeah.
And yes, it's been amazing.
That's it, isn't it? Understanding like the layers and kind of shining a light on, and perhaps in a different angle. I think it just makes the whole story more compelling for everyone, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things Dragonmount loves to ask is a very important question. So feel free to take a second to really concentrate. What is your favorite dinosaur?
I'm going to say, this is hilarious, I'm going to say a Brontosaurus.
Love it.
Because one of my friends once turned to me and she said, oh, you really remind me of someone. And I was like, who is it? And I was thinking of all these, I was like, okay. And then she said, that dinosaur from Jurassic Park? I was like, what? She was like, when he reaches up for the leaf and she sat in the tree. And I was like, I thought you were going to say, like, I don't know, Brad Pitt. Then you said a dinosaur from Jurassic Park. So I'm going to say Brontosaurus.
Oh, I love it. That is perfect. That's so great.
So weird.
So I'm assuming that you and Callum worked really closely together. What acting choices did you make to differentiate between Gawyn and Glad when they seem so very similar to show-only viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. A quick little, I don't know, nugget of information. Callum and I had actually played brothers before. And I don't think anyone, when they were trying to find out who we are, I don't think anyone picked up on that, but we were brothers in Flowers in the Attic. He was Christopher Foxworth and I was Joel Foxworth. So then when we got cast, it was just like unbelievable. I found out before Callum did, and I texted him saying, see you in Prague, brother. And he was like, are you kidding me? So we already had that familiarity because we'd been in lockdown together for 3 months. Yeah. So that was just a gift. And in answer to your question, it was, I think if we're talking about the first fight between the brothers, we worked a lot with the stunt coordinators, and there's elements that they included for Gawyn, like his kiss, his flirtatious kiss to the novices, and his backflip over the wall, and he's having fun. I think Gawyn is really playing, and whereas Galad is perhaps taking it slightly more seriously. And I think those elements are littered, hopefully, throughout. Hopefully you've all seen that there is that. He's perhaps a bit more mischievous and a bit more flirtatious, whereas Callum's portrayal of Galad is slightly more blue steel and grounded.
Oh my gosh, perfect. Thank you so much for taking time to meet with us. This was an absolute delight, and I cannot wait to hopefully talk to you in the future.
Amazing. It was a pleasure. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching that interview as much as I had doing it. The care and passion that Luke has for his character, especially knowing what the community thinks about Gawyn, really means a lot to me, and I hope it means a lot to you. He just is so passionate about what he does, and it's really appreciated. Make sure you like this video, comment, share, subscribe to our channel. We've got so much incredible content, and we hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.
And that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, remember to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. And you know what? Leave us a comment. We love comments, especially positive ones. Also, if you have somebody that you know that loves the Wheel of Time, let them know about us. Also, a huge special thanks to our sponsor, Tor Books, as well as our amazing Patreon community. If you want to learn more about how this show is made or about the Wheel of Time in general, you too can become a Patreon. As always, please follow us on Dragonmount. So we'll see you on social media and we'll see you next time.